De-escalation is the key. Throughout your life, sometimes when we're younger, we're hot-headed, we think we know everything. Sometimes when we're older, we don't have as much patience as we used to have. Or sometimes you could just be middle-aged and not have no patience and be hot-headed. Or it could be at any age. This works in any type of situation, vice versa. De-escalation is the key, which I wrote for the title of the short. Reduction of the intensity of a conflict or potentially violent situation. A lot of times when we tend to escalate a situation and we going back and forth in a heated argument with whatever it may be, could be with one person, multiple people, or you're just trying to get your point across, it's going to turn ugly. From my own experience. Before I went into spiritual advisor and life coaching, I've always done this my whole life, but had other jobs I had to maintain. One, for instance, I've done security for tons of things, sports teams, hotels, personal security, on and on and on. And I remember being in an environment as so much as a balance of security that the escalation of events would always get out of hand because you're dealing with people that a lot of times under the influence. It is hard. I always used to say it's easier to deal with a 5-year-old child than someone under the influence of something because their mentality, their concept's not there. Whatever they think at that moment, that's what they're going to do. If they want to escalate, they're going to escalate. There's not much more you could do but try to maintain the safety of yourself and others that may be in that place or situation. But I will tell you this. Eventually, I got to the point where I got so good at de-escalating situations that it never had to get to that point. Because I said here, let's repeat it, is the reduction of intensity of a conflict or potentially violent situation. That's what you don't want. Because from my own personal experience, when something escalates and what you put out forth is just going to feed off each other, and sometimes it gets out of control. When all you had to do was just de-escalate it. And that starts with what? Your verbals, what you're saying out verbally, your facial expression, maybe even your hand motion, or some people might take it as a threat. And if you're calm in your demeanor, it's very hard for someone to keep going because there's nothing to feed off of it. It's a skill set that takes time. You have to fine tune it. And you can. Because if you do, throughout your life, you will save yourself a lot of headache. And you will be an example to others because they'll be like, wow, that could have turned ugly. Yes, it could have. But because of your de-escalation skills, you were able to keep it under control, had your point be able to be heard, and you might even get an apology because this happened to me many times. I am so sorry. I was like, look, happens to the best of us. De-escalation is the key.